All right. I'd like to welcome everyone to the February 6, 2017 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. And if any special person is having a birthday today, I would like to have them lead us in the pledge.
Well, Ronald Reagan is not with us anymore. It's his birthday. So,
I wasn't thinking of Ronald Reagan.
You with us?
Oh, my God.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's very interesting. Ronald Reagan's birthday.
It's Ronald Reagan's birthday.
Oh, my gosh, do we
How old would he have?
I can't answer that question. I don't know.
He'd be close to 100.
I have no idea. Let's look it up.
All right. Well, introductions. I'm Jeff Benton, President of the Board. To my left is Gary Merrill, Vice President of the Board. To my right is Barb Lewis, fellow Commissioner. There's Ahmed, our Administrator, and Jen Walraven is our clerk today. So I'll let her go ahead.
All right. Resolution number 17-112, in the matter of approving the electronic records of proceedings from regular meeting held February 2nd, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17112. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment or elected official comment, but we do have an introduction from Susie Bibler, the new Director of Main Street.
Well, welcome. If you can introduce yourself, and very anxious to hear about what you've got going on.
Good morning. I'm Susie Bibler. I'm the new Executive Director at Main Street, Delaware. I'm excited to be back in the community. For those of you who don't know me, I worked prior with the American Red Cross, the Delaware County Chapter, and then United Way of Delaware County, and then left to go to the Columbus Zoo for a couple of years, and now I'm back in the community working for Main Street. So thank you for having me, and happy birthday, Commissioner Merrill. So Main Street is governed by 15 board of directors. The list is up here.
Somewhere.
There we go. Hopefully you'll recognize some names on the list. Our board includes people from the city and from the county. Jen is here with us today. We also have a representative from the Northwest Neighborhood Association, Delaware City Schools, property owners, and actually a church pastor as well. Our organization is driven by volunteers. I am the only paid staff at Main Street. We have, as I said, 15 board members. We have 265 volunteers in 2016 that accounted for 5,235 hours, which is equivalent to just over $100,000 worth of people's time. This year, I'm happy to let you know that we are going to be starting a Young Professionals event through Main Street, Delaware. It's a way to encourage the younger generation to get involved with our community, and they're interested in learning more about the history of Delaware and being mentors to Ohio Wesleyan students and mentees to current business owners. We had our first inaugural event just a couple of weeks ago, and we had 24 attendees come, which we are very pleased with. Our mission is to give people a vibrant downtown experience. We accomplish this with a four-point approach through promotion, design, business enhancement, and organization. Promotion sells a positive image of the downtown historic area and encourages community investors to live, work, and play and shop in downtown. We do this in lots of different ways, but the two prominent ways that most people know about is through our farmers market and our First Friday events. Our first farmers market they are held May through October downtown on Sandusky Street on Wednesday afternoons and Saturday mornings. We had 46 farmers involved in the 2016 year over the 23 weeks. We had 85 farmers and tradesmen And through SourcePoint, we offer the senior vouchers. We collected over 20,000 of them, which represents over $40,000 in sales, and that does not include cash transactions at the farmers market. Our first Fridays during the summer months, the warmer months, we attract 7,000 to 10,000 residents from all over Delaware County. My very first month here was in October, and I stood outside the Main Street office at a table, and I was blown away. Most of the people that I met that evening said they were from Lewis Center and Powell, which that just wasn't the case when we moved here 16 years ago. It was said that people who live south never came north, and it's so nice to see that change. We have 448 different First Friday vendors, people who put their, set up a table along the street, 109 of which were nonprofit participants. We had 67 church participants, 12 local school participants, and we had 11 sponsors for the First Fridays in 2016. This is our 2017 calendar. We just had our chocolate walk last Friday, which was a huge success. We always sell out at 250 tickets, and we're looking at opportunities to be able to expand that since we every year sell out. The one First Friday that I wanted to draw some attention to is in December of 2017. We are going to, the theme will be Home for the Holidays, and if you're familiar with the downtown Christmas parade that we have here, it typically was the Sunday before Thanksgiving, and we're actually going to switch that, and we're going to do the tree lighting on First Friday in December of 2017. We're going to follow that with kind of a shop small on Saturday, and then conclude it with the Christmas parade on Sunday. So we're going to do a whole weekend of the holidays in downtown Delaware. The second point is design, and Main Street focuses a lot of attention on how attractive the downtown can be, and we do that through the window displays, the parking areas, the building improvements, benches, signs, sidewalks, just opportunities to make our downtown more beautiful and more inviting for folks who are visiting. Main Street Delaware recognized 8 businesses and property owners for interior facades in 2016. Oh, it's okay. There we go. Yep, perfect. And business enhancement is very important to Main Street Delaware. We greeted 9 new businesses downtown Delaware who now call Delaware home. We continue to work to improve the 150 commercial downtown businesses. We're at 95% capacity on the street level, store level, or storefront. And then we have 14 vacant spaces, which include second and third floor areas in our downtown, and we have 43 downtown housing units.
So when you say vacant space, including residence apartments, or?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, a total of 14, including the second and third floors. Mm-hmm. We're seen as one of the top Main Street programs in the state of Ohio. We are accredited through Heritage Ohio, and we would not be able to do what we do without organization, and that's everyone working on this with the same goal in mind. This year we are set to be accredited on March 3rd. And we don't think that will be a problem. Looking forward to that. With your support, we can continue being a top-performing Main Street program. We can continue to provide valuable resources to downtown merchants, resulting in sustainability and growth. With your support, we can continue to expand the growth of our senior voucher program and providing fresh fruit to this demographic. Out of five farmers markets in our county, we are the top Main Street market is the top farmers market where we receive over 75% of the vouchers around our community. That's great. With your support, we can continue to provide family-friendly events like our First Friday, our Christmas parade, Farm to Table, and much more. We can continue to offer tours of downtown with Ohio Wesleyan students and alumni and parents that come in. We also are going to be working with our local school districts, the alumni associations and local school districts, and then also offer tours for Delaware residents. Again, with your support, we can continue to be a partner in the community with churches and schools, neighborhoods, first responders, nonprofits, and businesses. We appreciate your support that you've provided Main Street in 2016 and believe that 2017 can be just as great and continue to be a great place to live, work, and play. That's my contact information, and I also provided a business card there in front of you all. Did anybody have any questions for me?
Yes, I wondered about the tours, how a person can get a tour, and then where do you take them?
Sure. So we offer tours on, if you're interested, you can call our office and I can arrange it. We work with Roger Coe and Joe Diamond, who are on our board and are very familiar with the properties and the history of downtown. We also have a really great relationship if either of those two people are not available. We do have a great relationship with the Delaware County Historical Society and are able to provide tours for them as well.
Okay. Then around the downtown
Yes.
area, Main Street?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Can you tell us about any of the new businesses or restaurants or anything that are coming that have been announced or are public information?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to. I will tell you that I ran into a property, a realtor in the area who was showing a property 2 doors down from where I'm at, on the other side of the Strand movie theater. And just last week, and he said things are moving. We have a couple different vacant properties that need some work, but there's several people he said he showed just that particular space 7 times last week. So it's really encouraging. I think that we have the possibility of having a downtown grocery store, which would be wonderful. We do have the Greater Gouda as one of our newer stores downtown, and they provide fresh meat and things, but it'd be nice to have a downtown grocery store with the 43 residents that we have living down here. I know, too, that there's been some interest in what used to be the Brown Jug. Yeah, there's been some interest there as well. And
Is that interest in a form of a restaurant or some other use for the building?
I've heard restaurant. And then
12 South Sandusky?
Yes.
That's the new Flying Pig, I think is what it's called.
Yes, it's really exciting. A lot of our businesses are expanding as well. I'm not sure if you saw Button Up has recently closed, but within days of their announcement, there was a waiting list for that space, and we do have a business that is expanding into that area. So, great.
Well, the quality of the restaurants in downtown Delaware is really exceptional. Good variety and very good quality food, which certainly helps the employees of the county and I think everybody that works in the downtown area.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I moved here about 17 years ago, and the downtown was pretty sparse, and we did not have a parking problem then, needless to say. And it's so neat to see so many people from all over the county coming to our downtown. I think we offer some great restaurants, as you mentioned, and stores, and so it's neat to see that people are recognizing that.
Yeah, I think, again, the downtown has made huge strides in the last 15 or 20 years, and it's just great to see the activities, and I've noticed, too, just like you commented, the fact that so many people from outside of Delaware City are coming to this area, whether it's the Arts Festival, First Fridays, other events. It's just really neat to see. So
Yeah,
it's great.
I agree.
Keep up the good work.
I'm sorry. I may be putting you on the spot. I worked with Susie when I was at United Way. I was on the board. And you talk a lot about the history of Main Street, but you're now going to be making the history of Main Street. Do you have anything you want to share with us about what you plan to see different for the future than maybe what's been the past?
I feel like we have a really good foundation, but I feel like there's a lot of opportunity as far as working more closely with Ohio Wesleyan students and their parents, providing more collaboration with the downtown businesses, and having employment fairs, I guess, for the downtown businesses through Ohio Wesleyan students. I think that there's a lot of opportunity with the younger generation and getting them involved through the Young Professionals Network. I think that there's some opportunity. I know a lot of the restaurants don't necessarily need First Fridays to attract people to their restaurants. So I'm looking at ways to bring people downtown throughout the week. So on Tuesday nights and Friday night or Wednesday nights, and to make sure that the businesses are succeeding every day of the week and not just on Fridays and on the weekends. So,
Is there a new restaurant going in just south of Amato's, I think?
It's the
Yeah.
flying pig.
Oh, that's the Flying Pig.
Same people that own Typhoons.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Is that, that's
It's going to be like a barbecue type.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, there's so many good restaurants. And then I noticed there are some new bakeries, which are, we have sampled here.
It's dangerous. It's very dangerous.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for coming.
Other questions? Anybody have any questions? All right. Well, thank you very much, Susan.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you.
Jen?
Resolution number 17-113, in the matter of approving purchase orders and announced certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0203.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-113. Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Resolution number 17-114, in the matter of approving travel expense request.
So moved. Second? I didn't hear you.
Sounds good.
I didn't hear you. I apologize.
Yeah.
Vote.
Vote on motion 17-114. Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Resolution number 17-115, in the matter of delegating certain authority in furtherance of purchase of motor vehicles.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-115. Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Resolution number 17-116, in the matter of authorizing the purchase of trucks and equipments for the county engineer's office.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rob Riley, Chief Deputy Engineer. We are asking for your approval to purchase 4 replacement pickup trucks for our fleet. These would be purchased from Middletown Ford for about $26,000 each. It's worth noting, we as part of our development inspection fee charge, we include a $8 per hour inspection. $8 of that per hour charge goes to fund the vehicle replacement. So over the course of about 4 years, we recoup enough costs to basically pay for these new trucks that go to our development inspectors. And then those are rotated into our maintenance fleet, where they kind of live a hard life for the last 5 or 6 years out on the roads doing road maintenance. So we'll recoup a significant portion of the cost of these trucks.
Were these in the budget?
These were in the budget.
Vote.
Vote on motion 17-116, Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Resolution number 17-117, in the matter of establishing a maintenance bond for North Farms 4.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
The street and stormwater improvements for North Farm Section 4 were completed this past fall. This action would basically put those improvements on the one-year maintenance period and accept a maintenance bond from the developer to secure that maintenance for the next year.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-117, Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Resolution number 17-118, in the matter of establishing a maintenance bond for North Farms 8.
So moved. Second?
Discussion.
Same explanation for North Farms Section 8.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-118, Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Resolution number 17-119, in the matter of approving the plat of subdivision for the Glade at Highland Lake, Section 1.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
This is a 26-lot, single-family subdivision. The work was completed here, and the subdivision plat has been reviewed and approved by all the necessary regional planning county agencies, and we recommend approval at this time by your board.
Vote.
Vote on motion 17-119, Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Resolution number 17-120, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
We had just one permit applications this cycle by Columbia Gas, and reviewed the plans for this work and recommend approval.
Vote.
Vote on motion 17-120, Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 17-121, in the matter of approving the DKMM County Recycling and Litter Prevention Office Program Status Report for the last half of 2016.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Jennifer Way Young, Keep Delaware County Beautiful, Delaware General Health District. The final 6 months of 2016 highlights would include 17 recycling education programs to 400 kiddos in Delaware City and Delaware County. I worked with Keep Ohio Beautiful to have an Ohio Environmental Law Workshop, which was held at the Genoa Township office in November. And we had a teacher workshop in the fall at High Banks Metro Parks with Delaware County Soil and Water Conservation District. We had our household hazardous waste drop-off day in the fall as well. We had 396 vehicles. Now, this drop-off had changed. We accepted hazardous waste, chemicals, and paint only. We separated out the other because we didn't want to have a big line, which has always been a problem in Delaware County. 20 tons of paint and chemicals were collected at that event, and wait time was nominal, which was a good thing. We also worked with Soil and Water and DKMM to hold an agricultural tire event in which 249 tires were collected. That was in August. The Senior Citizen Appliance and Electronic and Television Pickup was very successful this year. We went through our funds, which are provided through SourcePoint, and 95 households participated. 108 computers and appliances were collected, as well as 87 televisions. And again, we work with our partners. Sims Recycling helps out, and then what we do is we contract with a moving company who will go down into the senior's basement and get out the freezer or the television or the appliance. So this is something that we've done for over 10 years and has been very successful. And they like to have those TVs collected. We had our Olentangy Watershed Cleanups. Actually, there were several, one main cleanup and several smaller cleanups. We had 44 volunteers, and 1,500 pounds of material was collected. And then from June through the end of the year, we had various groups collecting about 1,200 pounds of litter in the summer and the fall. So it's been a pretty productive year.
Who helps you with all these things?
The community support.
Volunteers, yes.
Volunteers, and again,
Okay.
you give them, and then we have some groups. Cider River Valley Federation is a great partner.
Okay.
So, yeah, Staff at the health department.
Uh-huh. What do you do? I'm sure people, when they donate a computer, they want to make sure that none of their information is left on the computer, so...
With the senior, I request that, they're responsible for, if they need to have the hard drive taken out, that they should be responsible for that.
Okay.
Because, again, I'm not going to be there. The mover takes it to Sims,
Okay, sure.
and they really need to
Okay.
be
they need to
responsible
take
for
care
that.
of
But Sims, once it gets to Sims, it's supposed to be locked down, so.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I had a question. And maybe you weren't sure of the answer, but what do residents do with confidential trash? All their statements and so on.
Very nicely, very good, you should ask. This year, with our drop-offs that we're having with DKMM Solid Waste District, we will be hosting a shredding event at each of our special events. So Marion, Morrow, whether we're doing electronics and televisions or whether we're doing hazardous waste and chemicals and paint, we'll be doing shredding at each of those events as well.
Oh, okay.
So in Delaware in the fall, we'll be doing shredding in tires and electronics. And I can't remember who's doing which ones. Two of our counties are doing electronics and tires and shredding, and 2 are doing hazardous waste, paint, and shredding. So, and our residents here in Delaware County are welcome to go to any of the other 3 counties.
Yeah, but I participated a couple of years ago in the shredding, but you don't shred on site. At least they didn't then. They took it somewhere else. Is that still the case? Or?
I believe that we'll be contracting, DKMM will be contracting with the same vendor, Royal Document Destruction, and they're put into locked boxes. They're shredded within 48 hours, and they do have the certificates of destruction and things like that are required. And again, that runs through DKMM. The problem that I've heard of in the past with having the actual shredding truck there, if the shredding truck breaks, we're out of luck. So this way, and it moves quicker too.
There's some peace of mind, though, when you see the
it done.
shredded rather than
Right in front of you.
you don't know where it's going to go. And I can't say that wasn't a concern when I dropped off my 2 or 3 boxes.
Well, and I believe there are also budgetary considerations as well. So.
Okay. Well, thanks for the update. Any other questions?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do.
Vote on motion 17-121. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-122, in the matter of establishing a new organization key and approving supplemental appropriations for the Delaware County Emergency Management Agency.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Sandy Mackey, Delaware County EMA. The EMA has received a Public Utilities Commission grant for hazardous materials training for local fire departments. The EMA will be a pass-through and will have no out-of-pocket expenses for this, and we recommend approval at this time, please.
Vote.
Vote on motion 17-122. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
Sandy.
Sandy.
Resolution number 17-123, in the matter of authorizing the use of a procurement card for the Court of Common Pleas Adult Court Services Department.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Good morning, Joe Perry, Director of Adult Court Services. Lori Lindbergler, she runs the recovery docket. What we're looking to do is just create a procurement card for the recovery docket, mental health docket, for both of those. What this would do would set up a way to give incentives, including gifts, inspirational items, books, pictures, frame quotes, gift cards, restaurant, movie theater, tickets, recreational activities, and personal care services, gifts of personal care, hobby, pet supplies. Again, things that card cannot be used for is for alcohol, tobacco, furniture, electronic items such as microwaves, DVDs, or TVs. And then what we do is we've set up, or Judge Krieger has set up a maximum expenditure per participant during the specialized dockets not to exceed $100 per individual. And again, just a way to give incentives for someone that's doing well through one of our 2 programs at the court.
Question? No. All right. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-123, Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 17-124, in the matter of approving a master agreement and systems maintenance agreement between Delaware County and ImageSoft Incorporated for on-base support for the Auditor's Office Data Center.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioner. Steve Lewis with the Data Center. This is simply a maintenance and master agreement for supporting our on-base system, which is our enterprise imaging system throughout the county. Worked with Eric and have his signature on this. So, George and I would just recommend your approval.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-124, Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye. While you're here, Steve.
Yeah, while you're here.
I know.
Yeah, two, I know, go ahead.
I think we're all curious about the Licking County ransom hacking that occurred, I think it was last week. And just curious on your thoughts on what happened there and how we're better protected.
Well, I'm not going to suggest that we're better protected. I think that we're well protected. I don't know, simply because I don't know what they have in place.
Oh, okay.
Ransomware is definitely a major concern, and most of it is user error, the majority of the time.
It is what, Steve?
User error.
What's occurring?
They'll click on a link that is not legitimate, or perhaps they'll even go to a website that's been compromised. And in those cases, it's not user error. You can get compromised from a legitimate website if the folks hosting that website does not know that they've been compromised or infected. So it's definitely a concern. The best thing that you can have in place is good backups. And thanks to your support and George's support, we do have great backups. We've spent quite a bit of money on this protection, and you're never going to stop it all. But when you do have a problem, how can you recover that? And again, because of your support, we've got good things in place. We replicate every 15 minutes down to our DR site in Worthington. And then, of course, we have our nightly backups that we can go back at least 30 days. So I guess one of the other big concerns I have is some of the stagnant data that users don't look at or access regularly. So if they go, 40 days and they don't realize that data has been encrypted by ransomware, then we're stuck going back to maybe a monthly or a quarterly backup that could result in lost data. But at some point, you have to draw the limit on how many of those snapshots or backups that you can have, just purely on space. So to answer your question on them, I have no idea what happened and what backups they had in place.
Did Licking ultimately pay the ransom, or what?
I don't know the answer. The last article I saw was from the Newark Advocate on Friday, and at that point, they had not determined yet whether they were going to or not.
Wow.
This is a federal issue. The federal government's going to have to take charge and eliminate this at some point.
I would certainly think so.
That's really good. Glad to hear that we're backing up off-site, too.
Yeah. I didn't realize we were doing it every 15 minutes. That's
Yeah, we replicate real-time
Great.
every 15 minutes down to Worthington, and then we have a third backup location that our nightlies go to. So if something happens to this building, we have Worthington. Something happens to Worthington, we have it yet again in a third spot. So again,
Great.
because of your support, we're able to do those things.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for all the work you do on that and
Yes.
doing the best we can to stay safe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
All right. Jen?
Resolution number 17-125, in the matter of approving the sanitary sewer improvement plans for Liberty Bluff Sections 1 and 2.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mike Fromer, sanitary engineer. The plans for this subdivision have met our requirements, and we're recommending approval. It's located just north of Nelson Farms on 315. So,
Vote.
Vote on motion 17-125, Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye. Thanks, Mike.
Resolution number 17-126, a resolution of necessity for purchase or lease of automobiles for the use of the county drainage maintenance program.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Morning. Scott Stevens, the Delaware Stormwater Conservation District. Asked that you purchase 2 vehicles directly out of the drainage maintenance funds as were budgeted. There's a pickup truck, about $23,000, I believe, and then the other one's an SUV, Jeep Cherokee, about the same amount.
So these are drainage maintenance funds, so these are actually paid for, funded out of the proceeds we get from the ditch maintenance program?
The special assessments that would
So this is
fund.
all allocated or factored into those costs?
Yes, yes. Yeah, the cost of those vehicles would be charged back out amongst, there's approximately 500 projects that are on the drainage maintenance. It'd be those special assessments, and we track that use per project as we do any of the goods or services that are used on those projects.
Yeah, it's interesting how we're getting more and more requests for ditch maintenance programs.
Yes, as a matter of policy, the subdivisions as they come online since '98 have gone on this program. We've got a number of subdivisions that were platted well prior to '98, and we have a steady stream. You see those at the hearing process coming on. They come to the realization their stormwater infrastructure is up to them, and this is an opportunity to have a local unit of government help them manage that infrastructure.
Right. So clearly, it's going well.
Yes. Yes, ever growing.
Your team is to be commended for doing that and keeping Jen so busy, scheduling all these hearings.
Yes. That's attending them.
Yeah, and attending.
That's right.
Okay, vote.
Thank you.
Vote on motion 17-126. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
That brings us to administrator reports.
Mr. Farazan.
Happy birthday, Commissioner Merrill.
And Ronald Reagan.
We have an interesting session today with Susie here talking about all the good things that are happening in Delaware, and then Commissioner Benton, you made a comment about all these extra ditch petitions. So I guess there's a lot of development that's going on in our county, and most of these developments, as you can imagine, are in areas which are heavily populated. But recently, the farming community reached out to Commissioner Merrill, and they said, hey, what about us? We need to be part of that conversation. So Commissioner Merrill asked Bob Lamb to put that together, so I'm going to cede the rest of my time to my colleague Bob Lamb and have him come up and talk about that exercise that they went through and what they talked about.
Great.
Bob Lamb, Economic Development Director. Last week, we had a meeting with the agricultural community. That meeting was spearheaded by Commissioner Merrill. He helped set up with the OSU Extension, Farmers Bureau, as well as many of the agricultural leaders within the community. At that meeting, we were able to share with them many of the activities that are going on in the development community in Delaware County right now. Went over the draft Economic Development Action Plan, as well as other projects that we're currently striving to see come forward. And then we discussed how we can better partner with them so that we can be able to secure those resources that they need, but also capitalize on opportunities that exist in the agricultural world. We know that it's one of the major drivers of Ohio's economy, being agriculture. 93 million to, almost $1 billion annually for the county, for the state overall. Approximately 1 out of 7 workers or so is directly tied or indirectly tied to the agriculture community in the state. So it is a major player within the state, and we need to make sure that we're doing our part to support our community. In order to do that, we're going to be working with Commissioner Merrill and others to form a board that's going to look at how we can really work closer together going forward, both leveraging the technology benefits that we have through OSU connections, as well as just overall what are the infrastructure demands for agriculture. So we're excited about this opportunity. We think it could lead to some new investment options for the county.
Yeah, we've had a long history of agricultural success and great leadership in the county, and it's great that we're able to engage them in the plan and see what we can do to help them continue to be successul.
And Bob did a great job presenting, and a lot of questions, a lot of input from the group that was there. I'm going to guess it was about 22, 24 total.
Yeah.
And thought it went very well.
Great.
Yeah, I don't think we realize, those of us who don't live on farms, how much the technology is driving agriculture now. I mean, and agribusiness. And I remember talking with the Skinners, and they were saying how, you really almost have to be an engineer to farm these days with Oh, it's amazing. So I'm so glad for the reach out. It's a great idea. Thanks, Bob, too.
Happy to. Thank you.
Farzan?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Lewis?
I don't have anything.
I didn't forget you this time.
No, that's
Nor do I.
yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That's all on you.
He's
All right. Well, we'll cover a couple things. We did go to the chamber dinner. Commissioner Lewis was there.
Oh, that's right.
Which was
Right.
last Thursday, and that was...
It was so long ago.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. It was quite very well attended, and recognized a lot of award winners and new board members and businesses and individuals who helped the community and so on. So it was a great event. Working with Farzan on goals for the staff for the county this year, and very encouraged by what we're seeing. We've got a lot going on just in our regular jobs, and then to supplement it with other things that we want to do to make things even better. Farzan and his team have put together a nice list of projects. Finance Authority is tomorrow evening. This morning, there was a story in the Dispatch about our Stork
Award recipient.
Stork Award recipient, Catherine Dobbins.
And a picture.
And a picture.
Yes.
And it was a very nice story. Dean Narciso did it, and it was a very nice story, a nice tribute to her very calm, very good delivery of, helpful delivery of, helping to deliver that baby. And that's all I got, so I think we have need for executive session.
We have a reason for executive session this morning. Resolution number 17-127, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of purchase of property for public purpose.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 17-127. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
All right, we're in executive session.
Aye.
Thanks, Bonnie.